Gretchen Ho. It is a Tuesday, the 20th day of May, bringing you Morning Matters because your mornings matter. Let's get to the stories that matter today. In the first episode of his podcast, President Bongbong Marcos emphasized unity over division, expressing a preference to work with political opponents, including the Dutertes. He also stressed that he values stability and friendship over conflict. COMELEC proclaims winning party list groups except Duterte Youth and Bagong Generacion or BH, whose proclamation is suspended due to legal challenges. A group of youth leaders questions Duterte Youth's legitimacy, while COMELEC aims to resolve the case before the 20th Congress begins in June. An investigation is underway into OWWA's controversial 1.4 billion peso land purchase during Ignacio's term. In his post-election takeaway, President Bongbong Marcos admits that some may be disappointed with government. Here is the report.
On the first episode of his podcast, the president said he would rather work together with political opponents, including the Dutertes, than, quote, prolong division that distracts from governance. The chief executive also said he values stability and friendship over conflict.
Ako, ayoko ng gulo. Gusto ko makasundo sa lahat ng tao. Mas maganda, marami na akong kaaway. Hindi ko kailangan ng kaaway. Kailangan ko kaibigan. Ang habol ko, yung stability, peaceful, para magawa namin yung trabaho namin. Kaya ako, laging akong bukas sa ganyan.
President Marcos added that he does not need to see eye to eye with critics and allies alike. If there's disagreement over policy matters, he believes this should not prevent dialogue or cooperation.
Laging akong bukas sa ganyan. I'm always open to any approach na, alika, magtulungan tayo. Diba? Kahit hindi tayo magkasundo sa polisiya, hindi tayo magkasundo. Gawin yung trabaho pero wag na tayong nanggugulo. Wag na natin, tanggalin natin yung gulo.
The president likewise vowed not to meddle in the impeachment trial of Vice President Sara Duterte.
Pabayaan natin ang proseso. Ako, basta ang nasa isip ko, tapos ng eleksyon, balik sa trabaho. Gawin na natin lahat with the new lessons learned.
The chief executive also shared his learnings from the recent midterm elections. He admitted to the realization that some may be disappointed over the government.
Disappointed ang tao sa serbisyo ng gobyerno. Hindi nila nararamdaman at masyadong mabagal ang galaw ng pagbubuo ng mga project na hindi pa nila maramdaman.
Still, Marcos assured the Filipino people that his administration is listening to their calls.
COMELEC has proclaimed the winning party list groups in this year's midterm polls, but two were left out. The details from Juan Walvis.
Nominees, their families, and supporters filled the Manila Hotel Tent City to the brim for the proclamation of party list groups. Of over 150 party lists COMELEC certified, only 54 groups were guaranteed a place in 63 seats allotted in the House of Representatives for the 20th Congress.
Sa party list po, ang inabot po na number of votes for the party list ay 41,950,292. Dito po binase ang Banat versus COMELEC. Dito po binase ang 2% threshold. Dito po binase ang additional seat at dito po binase ang seat na entitled kahit maaaring hindi nakakuha ng 2%. Ang sabi ng Supreme Court sa Banat versus COMELEC, lahat ng seats ay dapat punuan.
Akbayan, Duterte Youth, and Tingog secured 3 seats, while 4Ps, ACT-CIS, and Ako Bicol party lists got 2 seats for getting more or less 1 million votes. Groups ranked 7 to 54 get 1 seat each. However, before the proclamation proper, COMELEC read the resolution that 2 party list groups would not be proclaimed due to pending petitions. They are the Duterte Youth and BH or Bagong Generacion party list.
I think po mas unfair kung halimbawa later na proklama ka na, hindi pa nagsisimula yung assumption to office, biglang nagkaroon ng decision, tanggal ka. Mas masakit po yun dahil nagkataasan na ng kamay o tumaas na sa entablado, tapos biglang maaanal pala. Mas maganda po malinis.
In response, Duterte Youth said they had answered all issues against them since 2019, which is why they were allowed to hold their posts in 2019 and 2022. The group said it is elevating the matter to the Supreme Court, threatening COMELEC that if their assumption into office is deferred any longer, they would reveal alleged anomalies within the poll body and Congress. For its part, Bagong Henerasyon Party List said they have not received a copy of the complaint yet, but they are willing to answer any grievances against them. For now, they motion for the COMELEC to urgently push through with their proclamation. Meanwhile, COMELEC reminds party list organizations that failed to win in 2 consecutive polls that they will be automatically delisted. This means they might lose accreditation and will have to reapply if they're considering running again in the next elections. For News 5, Mon Gualvez, we are One News.
The COMELEC has conducted an inspection of disposed campaign materials at the Payatas Controlled Disposal Facility this morning. For details, we have mobile journalist Merimon Reyes reporting to us live on the ground. Merimon, who led the inspections and how is the disposal going?
Gretchen, so far dito sa likuran ko makikita mo patong-patong na yung ilan sa mga campaign materials na niligpit. Even kasama yung Oplan Baklas nung during the campaign season, even after the elections kung saan mayroong prescription period ang lahat ng mga nangandidato na within 5 days after May 12, the day of the elections, dapat maligpit na nila yung kanilang mga campaign posters. And so far, mga pumunta dito ay mula sa Eco Waste Coalition, mula sa QC-LGU, and even si COMELEC Chairman George Erwin Garcia na personal na pinuntahan at in-inspect nga itong mga lugar. At nasabi niya kanina, sa Metro Manila pa lang, 64.5 tons na ang dami ng mga nahakot. Metro Manila pa lang daw ito. Hindi pa ito yung kabuuan na bilang ng lahat ng mga mahahakot. Pero so far, pagdating naman sa Quezon City, ang nasabi naman sa atin mula dito kaya Sir Richard Santuile, na head siya ng QC Department of Sanitation, nasa 20% na lang daw ng Quezon City ang kailangan pang ligpitan ng mga campaign paraphernalia. To be specific, yung mga looban pa raw na areas, plus yung mga private properties, pero syempre hindi na nila ito masyadong, hindi nila ito pakikialaman. Bagaman ang ginagawa raw dito via yung mga barangay, ini-encourage na nila yung pagligpit mismo o paglinis para raw ma-upcycle o ma-recycle ang mga ito. Yung mga buo raw na mga tarpaulins na makikita ninyo, yung mga nakakabit pa ilan sa kanilang mga kawayan o kahoy, ginagawa dito ng QC-LGU is nakikipag-collaborate sila sa ilang mga small businesses and tuturuan ng mga persons na deprived of liberty para raw gawin itong mga tote bag. At the same time, ibebenta raw nila ito, pero garantisado naman na despite the high toxicity levels na nakita dito ng Eco Waste Coalition, nililinis naman daw nila ito at nilalagyan ng another layer of covering para matakpan yung mukha ng mga kandidato sa mga tarpaulin na ito at magamit naman daw with design and fashion. Gretchen.
Okay, itong nasa likuran mo, QC lang yan, ano? Ibig sabihin, bawat syudad inaasahan gawin ang pareho dyan kung ano nangyayari sa QC.
Yes, Gretchen. Kasi ito initiative daw ito ng QC-LGU na labis ang pinasasalamatan ng COMELEC dahil hindi na raw sapat talaga yung Oplan Baklas na ginagawa. Kailangan din daw dito talaga yung action mismo at the local level. Pero ito mga nasa likuran natin, QC pa lang daw ito. Pero sobrang dami na kasi eto sa likuran ko, 2 file na siya. Doon pa sa kabila hanggang doon sa may likuran ng disposal facility na ito, naipon na talaga sila. Pero hindi pa naman daw sila tapos sa pagliligpit. May mga ilang araw pa raw sila para busisiin pa nga yung natitira dito sa QC. Gretchen.
Okay. Nagtanong ka ba kung sa mga tao dyan, mga eco-warriors, kung ano yung track record natin nung mga nakaraang halalan, kung gaano karami talaga yung na-upcycle at recycle mula dun sa tambak na yan? Kasi parang ang dami. Lahat ba yan gagawing tote bag o meron pang ibang pwedeng gawin dyan? At realistically, ilang percentage nung tambak na yan ang talagang magagamit muli?
Gretchen, sabi ni Sir Richard kanina, magkakaroon pa raw ng sorting sa mga ito. Pero ang gagawin nila, yung mga buo pa, na literal na magagamit pa raw talaga, yun yung mapupunta for upcycling and recycling. Pero yung iba ng mga punit-punit na raw, na hindi na raw talaga siya magagamit, nor ma-restore pa, unfortunately, mapupunta lang daw talaga yun sa mga landfill. Pero ang nasabi kanina ni Chairman Garcia, yung dami pa rin daw talaga nito, it's still alarming whether or not kung ikukumpara siya sa mga lumipas na taon. And ang nasabi nga ni COMELEC Chair ngayon, napakarami daw and very alarming. 64.5 pa lang sa Metro Manila. Hindi pa raw nakukuha yung kabuuan na numero sa iba pang mga lugar, pero that number alone, yun na raw daw sana yung maging basehan para raw sa mga susunod daw na halalan, hopefully recyclable and biodegradable materials na raw talaga ang gamitin. Kasi isang factor kaya nagiging issue ngayon itong mga campaign materials ay dahil plastic o kaya naman goma yung ginagamit nilang material dito. And base doon sa naging lab test daw ng Eco Waste Coalition, 100 packs per million lang daw yung acceptable level. Pero doon daw sa naging samples, umaabot ng 700 yung level ng toxicity ng mga ito. So, problemado pa raw sa disposal, pagdating pa raw doon sa toxicity nito sa mga tao, yan daw yung dapat na ma-address sa mga susunod na halalan. Kaya panawagan din ng COMELEC, hopefully raw yung mga gagamitin materyales sa mga tatakbo, lalo pa may paparating pa na barangay at SK elections, maging biodegradable na raw para madali rin silang ma-manage at matapon. Gretchen.
Natanong mo ba kung ano kailangan para tayo ay mapunta sa ganong direksyon? Kailangan ba ito legislation mula sa Kongreso o maaari na itong magmula sa COMELEC? At meron ba diyang proposal to do eco bricks or talagang tote bag lamang yung pwedeng gawin dyan?
So far, Gretchen, nasabi dito sa atin kasi ang pinakaginagawa pa lang nila is yung upcycling to tote bags, mga bayong. Pero they are also considering other ways to upcycle itong mga campaign materials. Ang nasabi ni Chairman Garcia, meron naman na daw mga resolution talagang nag-i-exist. At sinasabi rin doon sa election code na dapat nga daw yung biodegradable materials na gagamitin, yung recyclable, para raw makatulong din hindi lang doon sa election na process, kundi sa environment din in general. Kaso mahirap daw talaga dahil yung iba sa mga ito, kumbaga kinokontrata na daw, yung iba naman by private choice na nagpapagawa ng mga tarpaulin. So it's a call for all action daw talaga siya, Gretchen. Hindi raw sapat na maglabas ng resolution, kailangan pa rin daw talaga dito ang inisyatibo, Gretchen.
Right, sana nga gamit natin muli yung mga posters na yan at maraming matulungan ito, no? Na mga PDL, pati na rin ang mga bibili niyan. Pero dapat actually responsibilidad din yan ng mga politikong tumakbo kung anong gagawin dyan. In the meantime, maraming salamat sa iyo. We have mobile journalist Mary Monreyes reporting to us live from Payatas. Don't go away. We'll be back with more stories right after a short break. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. Two ICC deputy prosecutors have assumed leadership. Deputy prosecutors Nazat Shamim Khan and Mame Mandiaye Nyang are now leading the office. They are also taking over the case proceedings against former President Rodrigo Duterte. This comes after prosecutor Karim Khan took a leave of absence pending investigation into alleged sexual misconduct. Now, how will that affect the ongoing case proceedings against Duterte? To answer that and more, we have ICC Assistant to Counsel Cristina Conti joining us via Zoom. Good morning to you, attorney.
Good morning, Gretchen.
Prosecution is one man down, and not just any man, but the chief himself, Karim Khan, the lead prosecutor. How big of a setback is this for prosecution?
Well, we're taking a cues from the statements of the Office of the Prosecutor and even the Presidency, and they tell us that business as usual in the court, and then work continues across all situations. In the case of the Philippines, we would also like to point out that, in fact, from the very beginning, the head of the Philippines Unified Team, as it appears, is Ma'am Mandiaye Nyang himself. It's the deputy prosecutor from the very beginning who's been on case. And so if we think that, he's going to be quote-unquote replaced, no, someone's going to step up.
Okay, but do you think Karim Khan will be able to return and get back?
Well, I don't know because I'm not really very familiar with the gravity of the offense, but this is a big deal for us. This is sexual misconduct, and we welcome the stepping down of Karim Khan while the investigation is ongoing. And personally, I would have wanted him to step down as soon as the allegations were formally lodged, because this is serious. But then, this is practicality. I'm looking at July and August as traditional vacation months for Europeans. And so I think he'll be out of the picture for about 2 months until maybe July or August. So I'm not quite sure if he'll be back by September. If not, it will be Manjayan Yang who will represent the prosecution during the hearing.
There are two deputies that are being named, Manjay Nang that you mentioned, and also Nazat Shamim Khan. What do we know about them?
Oh, I've looked up Manjayan Yang, who is, I think, more relevant to our case. He's a Senegalese judge who also helped and was a judge at the International Criminal Tribunal in Lebanon and Yugoslavia as well. So he's very familiar both with domestic law, although it's Senegalese law, and international law. He's also an academic. He's written several articles, and from what it appears, he's a judge and therefore not does not really have a prosecutorial background. But then I would appreciate this from an objective point of view, because now he would be focusing on evidence that is necessary to reach the threshold for conviction. So I think I'm comfortable with this kind of experience. But of course, as we always say, this is an imperfect institution. We have imperfect people. And so we work with whatever we have. We are so far seeing that the Philippines unified team, and this means it's the lawyers plus the investigators, are on track delivering disclosure of evidence. Although I will jump the gun and say ahead that there is a request by the prosecution to push back the deadline for this or the application for withholding of victims' information. So we think this is a soft deadline, but the prosecution is still on track in keeping with the general disclosure deadline of July 1, 2024. They're just asking for a little bit more time to prepare applications regarding withholding of victims' information, meaning or rather, sorry, witnesses. Which witnesses are comfortable with their names being put out? Which witnesses have security considerations and so forth.
Okay, so ibig sabihin, in, at some point, lahat ng witness maisisiwalat, no? Kailangan i-reveal dito sa defense para
Yes,
mapaghandaan nila.
Gretchen.
Oo,
Mm-mm.
oo.
At the minimum, ang itsura, kung hindi pangalan, it must be the content of the kumbaga, testimony. For example, we have one person who will testify as to this incident. Kahit hindi pangalanan, which is why we have that parang soft deadline nga about the withholding of witnesses' information for security considerations.
Okay. And who would be part of the witnesses? Does this include also law enforcement or policemen involved in the drug war?
Well, I'm not part of the prosecution team, but from what we read and from what we understand, so there's several kinds of witnesses and also their security considerations. So first, there would be witnesses from about the incident. So that would be either victims or, and you're correct, law enforcement agents. At the same time, they could be considered as quote unquote insider witnesses, where they can talk about the pattern, paano yung instruction sa kanila, anong nangyari before and after ng insidente, inutusan ba sila, binayaran ba sila. And so we're expecting a few law enforcement officers. I can't say if in active duty still or retired or resigned, but certainly the ICC has not presented any case without insider witnesses. So we're pretty sure they have already talked to some.
So the prosecution is asking to extend beyond July 1, is what you're saying?
Oh, no.
Or July
They're
1 is the extended deadline that they're
kaya
asking
nila yung
for?
July 1, general
Okay.
disclosure. Kumbaga, magpalitan tayo ng information ng July 1. But then they said, may isasubmit kami ng May 23. Mag-a-apply na kami ng parang request to withhold or applications to withhold witnesses' information. So they have a list of witnesses that they will present. They just need to talk to each one, check their
all right.
security lists, and then i-apply nila which ones whose names they will not disclose as of now. So kumbaga, they have a list, pero ang general rule, well, you submit the names, pero if there is any security consideration, some witnesses might not be comfortable giving their names, giving their locations, essentially. So the prosecution has to apply to withhold their names. Sabi prosecution, naku, hindi pa namin siguro nakausap lahat, hindi pa namin na-assess kasi may risk assessment 'yan. So, can we just push back yung application to release the names? Pero they said definitely they will have the disclosures by July 1. And again, there's another deadline after July 1. It's July 4. That's when we will know what are the charges against Duterte. So parang ito yung information or yung sakdal.
And when the list of witnesses is disclosed to the defense, are they allowed to publicize that list? Or is it all under some confidentiality agreement?
It's, from what I understand, it's inter partes. So silang dalawa lang, between parties. It won't even be disclosed to victims. It won't be even disclosed to the judges, of course, they will see the names. But it won't be disclosed to any other group except the prosecution and the defense.
Okay, you mentioned that the two timelines, July 1 and July 4, but there's also a June 9 deadline, I believe, for the prosecution to respond to Duterte's request to dismiss charges based on lack of jurisdiction. Do we know where we're at there?
Oh, well, yes. So there are two preliminary matters actually before we can even talk about the case. So the July deadlines talks about the case. Kumbaga, ito na yung kaso mismo. Pero may argumento kasi yung Duterte camp na ay actually walang jurisdiction ang ICC na litisin yung kaso. Tapos may isa pa siyang habol, kumbaga. Actually, may magde-decide na judges tungkol sa jurisdiction. Ayaw nila na yung 2 out of 3 judges mag-decide doon. Kaya pinapa-disqualify nila. There's an earlier deadline in 2 days, May 22, deadline naman doon sa comments tungkol sa disqualification ng judges. Doon natin siguro more or less malalaman or dapat mag-rule bago ng July 9 kung sino ba ang pwedeng mag-discuss or mag-decide on jurisdiction. Kaya hopefully, if we stick to these deadlines, by July 1, July 9, and September 23, the preliminary issues of 1, that's the court of jurisdiction, and 2, who should decide on this issue, kasi pinapa-disqualify yung dalawang judges, have already been resolved, at least by the pre-trial chamber.
Before the case gets opened. Last question, for the confirmation of charges in September, is there a new set of judges?
So far, not yet. There's none yet. We have the same judges. And I would say unlikely that they will be replaced or that this case will be reassigned to another pretrial chamber.
Oh, kasi meron akong naririnig before na parang there's no use because at some point the judges were harassed online, trolled a lot. Sinasabi wala namang point yung paghaharas nyo sa kanila dahil iraraffle off din, ibibigay din sa ibang murado. So may ganun ba?
Sorry. So that's right. So for the confirmation of charges hearing, baka siguro sila forward looking. For the confirmation of charges hearing, more or less, I think it will be the same judges. So you will have Yulia Motok, the French-speaking judge, still preside. But after, and if the court confirms the charges, it will be raffled off to a trial chamber. Yun yung in the long run, talagang mapapalitan itong mga judges na kausap natin or nakikita natin. When in our what we believe, talagang magpupursue ito into or magre-ripen into a case or trial, there will be a different trial chamber which will hear the evidence in this case.
We got the next months to figure out those issues. But what's interesting to me is what you said a while ago, that July and August is for summer break. Kaya pala, naurong ng September. Now I understand it. Maraming salamat sa inyo, Attorney Cristina Conti, for explaining everything to us and shedding light on what's up next for the victims and also for the prosecution. Maraming salamat, ICC Assistant to Counsel, Cristina Conti.
Thank you, Gretchen. Ingat.
Stay tuned. Morning Matters. We'll be back right after a short break. Good morning, I'm Gretchen Ho, and here on Morning Matters, we talk about the most pressing issues and give you the context behind the headlines. Three Filipinos have recently made it to the top of Earth's highest mountain, Mount Everest. However, the climb was not without tragedy as another Filipino mountaineer died in an attempt to reach the summit. 45-year-old PJ Santiago II passed away at Camp 4, known as the Death Zone, or 26,000 feet above sea level. Over a month before his death, Santiago shared a video describing his attempt as a climb of a lifetime. Aside from personal goals, Santiago also dedicated his ascent to promoting clean water and supporting children battling cancer. His fellow climbers remember him as a man of unwavering determination and deep love for the mountains. Meantime, Filipino mountaineer Rick Rabe became the 9th Filipino to reach Mount Everest summit. Geno Panganiban and Miguel Mapalad also achieved the feat on Sunday, May 18 Philippine time, just days after Rick. Joining us now is someone who knew PJ Santiago II far beyond the summit. We have his sister, Anna, with us today on Morning Matters. Thank you so much for being with us, and we are so sorry for your loss, Anna. Anna, I think you're on mute.
Oh no.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, can you hear me? Okay.
Okay. Good morning. I just wanted to ask, because we're getting bits and pieces of what happened over at Mount Everest. At this point, is there a little bit more clarity now over what happened to PJ?
Yes, we have received the police report. Although it is our nephew, Carl Miguel Santiago, who is still in Kathmandu right now. He is the logistics person that PJ had when he went up to Everest. He had a police report, I think that was a Friday morning. And also he was able to, one of the companions of PJ, his tent mate, Mr. Sayan. It was gathered that from Camp 3 to Camp 4, he collapsed. His Sherpa told him that they should go back, but he insisted, saying, I want to see Camp 4. I want to see Camp 4. And then we decide when we get there if we will pursue the summit or go back to Camp 3. Upon reaching Camp 4, this was told to us right on the spot where you can see the whole of Camp 4. That's when he collapsed. He collapsed, and Sherpa tried to wake him, to move him, and he wouldn't move. He tried to seek the help of some other of the Sherpas, and he wouldn't move anymore. So right there and then, it's possible that he already died. But the cause is still unknown because there's still no autopsy report or official report from the doctor.
Before he went on the expedition, did he have any pre-existing health conditions or comorbidities that could have led to that collapse?
Well, he's been diagnosed as with hypertension since he was in college. He has maintenance medicine for that, but there have been no problems about at least in that yung ganyang situation. I mean, in that condition, because he had he went through the Camino de Santiago 2012, 2023, when he started this expedition. He went up to the base camp of Mount Everest, and last year also he attempted to reach the two peaks, the Island Peak and Amadablam in Everest in this year.
So several training expeditions already to be able to get to the top. I mean, tell us all about what this climb means to PJ. You mentioned several climbs all over the world, but how special was climbing Mount Everest for PJ?
I know that it might have started as a personal challenge for him when he started in 2023. But it was clear to him at the get-go that when he went for sponsors, it's not really to ask for support financially, but what he's been saying is he want to put the logos of Filipino companies in his shirt so that when he gets to where he wanted, that's what he wants to show. Not even asking for money, but when probably if they offer, of course he will not refuse. On the second year, last year, 2024, he was planning to reach the summit already, but his coach, he started wall climbing. All other coaches or other experts are telling him, no, don't go yet. Don't go straight to the summit. Try Amatablang, which is more technical. So he trained for that, wall climbing, and then he got more sponsors. This time, really seeking them out. One of them, he's part of this Land Rover Club where he met uh, the head of this organization. Although it is it's international, it has office here, which is Waves for Water. Uh, they deliver clean, they make it possible to have clean water for each family or a town or a place. And
Via
then,
water filters, right? Uh-huh.
yes, that's it. And they have an office in Nepal, which made it, parang, uy, coming together, ganyan. And then, nagkaroon siya ng interest that he wanted to help children in the cancer ward. So everything that he gets from sponsors, if ever they give anything, half of it binibigay niya dun sa Philippine Children Hospital.
PCMC and Waves for Water were the causes for this climb. Pero hindi po nagkaroon ng avalanche. Kasi nakikita natin sa social media, meron din nagsasabi na nabagsakan sila.
Yeah. Yes, that was after their rotation. I really am not, kasi what's he's been saying is from base camp, they have to go to Camp 1 and then go back to acclimatize, and then Camp 1, Camp 2, and then acclimatize. That's our mom behind me. It's after he has finished the rotation, he's coming down already from Camp 1 to base camp. Uh, he has a map in his office. You can see the length. And then there's this area, the Kumbo Ice Fall. Uh, that's where the avalanche happened. And that's where he was hit. Yung meron siyang mark dito sa mukha.
Oh.
Yeah, tapos naman, when they got to the base camp, there are volunteer doctors kasi naman doon. So pina-check and sabi
He's
okay
cleared.
naman daw.
Oo. Okay.
And after that, they had 6 days to rest before starting climbing again.
Okay. There were other Filipinos who were able to summit Mount Everest, and that's Rick, Geno, and Miguel. They were not together in climbing. Parang paano po ba yung niyan, yung kalakaran dyan? You climb on your own with the Sherpa, and you climb separately to make it easier. Is that how it goes?
Kasi they were not able to communicate beforehand. So, every day we've been asking them, nakita nyo na ba yung mga Pilipino? But what we know are yung tulang, sila Sir Jello. But he hasn't. Parang every day, sabi namin, nakita nyo na ba sila? Kasi it's different pag may kasama kang Pilipino, na may nakakausap ka ng Pilipino. So, sinasabi nila hindi. Kasi napakalaki nung base camp. It's really hard to, just magkita kayo doon or even
So
communicate.
hindi sila sabay-sabay umakyat.
No, ang alam ko, different kasi yung outfitter na nag-join sila. So, ang nakasama ni PJ are 5 Indians. Tas siya lang yung
Mm, okay, because this was, this is Everest season. That
Yes.
window that you need to go there to be able to climb up top, ano. But was he able to send you some messages before everything happened? What was the last message that he sent you?
He's not really expressive. He's not, you would give any messages. But on the night for the summit push, that was May 10. May 10, Saturday night, the night before yung Mother's Day. So we were dining out, si Mama, si Papa, ako. Tapos he called me, may mga ano lang, konting bilin lang na, oh, ganyan. Yung mga, ano lang, the usual, may request lang siya sa akin. And then, syempre, kinausap naman ni Papa, bilin about sa trabaho, ganyan. He has a construction company. And then, kay Mama, syempre, Happy Mother's Day, ganyan. Tapos, nung tapos na, habol ko lang siya. Sabi ko, ay, PJ, ganyan. Jay, yung parang urgent na urgent. Oh, bakit? Ganyan. Sabi ko, I love you. Ganun lang ako. Tapos tumawa siya. That's how he is. I mean, he doesn't say it back. Pero yun nga, yung he shows it naman lang kasi, halimbawa, when we hug, yung mga ganyan. So, but that's it. Yan na yung last, tumawa. And then, okay yung boses niya, high spirits, getting ready siya for the summit push that night.
Well, Anna, the whole climbing community mourns with you over his passing. He was a brave man for pushing on despite these circumstances. What is your message for those who are looking at the journey of PJ? How can everybody help and how do we remember him?
Yes, this was really important to him. Much earlier, I've heard him say na I've conquered yung business kasi he put up his own construction company na okay naman siya. Tapos, he's been running, ganyan. Tapos, this time, ito nga, parang ito naman yung gusto niyang ma-achieve na with the two causes talaga na very important for him. Yung Waves for Water nga, clean water for everyone, and curing children's cancer. Probably, wala naman kaming kamag-anak na bata who had cancer or who has cancer, but may mga tito, tita kami, we lost them to cancer. So probably he wants na hanggang bata. Kasi it's harder, di ba, kung bata. So parang yun sana, yung kahit makalimutan na yung kwento niya, yung buhay niya. But these two na very important, kahit yun man lang, yung manatili sa mga tao. Kasi very important din when you really think about it. Parang ang tinarget niya yung roots yung kung saan you can really start from the start. You can help from the start pa lang.
Okay. Anna, where is his body now and when do we expect it to be here in the Philippines?
Yes. So we've been coordinating. Someone's been helping us na nandun. Ano siya yung sa Nepal treks, si Sir Nava. As of yesterday, he was able to command or request the group of expert Sherpas who will go to Camp 4 to retrieve his body. His body kasi maayos. So yung mga Sherpa tied him to a spot na hindi siya magagalaw or matatabunan or anything like that, na it would be easy for the Sherpas to get him. So right now, nasa Camp 4 pa rin siya. Wala pang nagre-rescue, hindi pa siya nakukuha. It's the Sherpas and on the way yung Sherpas, I think, hopefully kagabi nag-push na sila from base camp going to Camp 4, which would, they were hoping to reach him by today, sana. Kasi would be a problem yung traffic kasi nga, as you said, ito yung season of going up. Tapos yun na yung sunod-sunod na yung nagsasummit, di ba? Tapos yung iba bumababa. Pag ganito daw pala, the priority kasi is yung mga magsasummit.
We will get there when it's time. But just on a personal note, I'd like to say that seeing the videos and seeing his life has inspired me. And I'm sure it's not just me, but many other Filipinos. Kaya maraming salamat for telling the story of PJ. And again, we mourn with you, but we also celebrate his life with you. Thank you so much, Oyavana Santiago, sister of Filipino mountaineer PJ Santiago II. Don't go away. More matters to discuss right after the break. Keep it here on One News. Welcome back. You're still watching Morning Matters here on One News. The COMELEC has suspended the proclamation of Duterte Youth and BH party lists. This as the two winning party lists are facing legal challenges. A group of private youth leaders, through their council election lawyer Emil Marañon, claims that Duterte Youth is not a legitimate representation of the youth. They also argue that the group failed to meet requirements of publication and public hearing. The COMELEC aims to resolve the case before the 20th Congress starts in June. Let's discuss this further with Duterte Youth Chairman Ronald Cardema, who joins us on the show today. Magandang umaga sa iyo.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning po.
Okay, Ronald, sinabi ninyo na ito ay grave abuse of discretion on the part of COMELEC. What is your basis for that?
Yes, ma'am. Kasi sa ating bansa, every 3 years lang napapatunayan yung demokrasya. Every 3 years lang pwedeng bumoto yung taong bayan. And anong trabaho ng COMELEC? Pag nagkaroon ng botohan, they will canvass the votes and they will declare that the candidates were duly elected, then duly proclaimed. So kami po ay inelect ang Duterte Youth Party List ng napakaraming Pilipino. Lampas 2 milyon at kahapon, araw ng proklamasyon, sinabihan lang kami 4 hours before the proclamation na hindi kami makakasama kahapon. So paano nangyari yon? Na discretion na lang ng COMELEC ngayon kung kailan nila sasabihin, kung kailan nila gusto yung proclamation ng Duterte Youth Party List. Ang bigla nilang ni-raise, meron daw serious allegations noong 2019 patungkol sa Duterte Youth Party List. Ang masabi ko lang dyan, sabihin ko sa Korte Suprema, kung ganun kaseryoso yun, bakit pinatagal nyo ng lampas kalahating dekada? Hindi nyo nga eleksyon noong 2022 elections, nakaupo kami. Kasi alam nyo, masabi ko sa inyo kung ano yung mga kinasa sa amin, napaka-hawsyaw na mga kaso lamang. Kaya nga, hindi nila, ang huling hearing nun, na pinatawag ng COMELEC, December 2019 pa, and dapat na-resolve na nila yon noong January 2020 after 1 month.
Wala po bang nangyaring pag-uusap tungkol dito bago, naalala ko po at some point, COMELEC was saying lahat ng party list na sinama namin sa balota, lahat po yan ay na-review na, they are certified as kumaga parang yung legal grounds for running as party list have been resolved. Wala po bang pag-uusap sa parting yon to be able to bring up those issues na meron palang mga kaso na nakabinbin dito nga po sa Duterte Youth?
Yan po, tama yung punto nyo. Yan ang sinasabi ko. If that was really that serious, bakit nakatatlong eleksyon na kami na we are included in the ballots, di ba? Masabi ko sa inyo, nung narehistro yung Duterte Youth Party List noong January 2019, wala namang reklamo tong sina Emil Marañon. Nagkaroon ng kampanya, nanalo ang Duterte Youth Party List, nakaaway ko yung senior commissioner doon, si Guanzon. After 3 months, saka lang sila nag-file. Tapos yung nire-raise ni Emil Marañon, kakasuhan ko rin niya si Emil Marañon ng disbarment. Bakit po? For the past 6 years, sinasabi niya sa taong bayan na we are not registered. Pag kinasuhan kita, Emil Marañon, sa kahit anong korte ngayon, paano mo mapapatunayan na hindi kami rehistrado? Unang-una, yung COMELEC po, noong 2019 hanggang 2022, hindi ko kaibigan yan. Kaaway ko nga yung senior commissioner, si Guanzon eh. So, paano nangyari na hindi kami rehistrado at inayaan kami ng kalaban namin na nandun lang sa COMELEC, kasali kami sa eleksyon, di ba? Pangalawa, inuulit-ulit lang ni Emil Marañon yung rhetoric na yan. Actually, magtaka kayo. I-raise nila sa Supreme Court yan noong 2020. Hindi daw dapat ma-proclaim yung Duterte Youth Party List kasi daw hindi rehistrado. Ang ginawa ng Korte Suprema noong 2020, after 1 month, hindi na kami pinatawag, dinismiss outright yung final ni Emil Marañon at ng mga petitioner na yan, ng mga kabataan na yan. Bakit? Wala issue na ganon. Dahil wala naman daw nagpagkakamali ang Duterte Youth Party List. So after 2020, hanggang ngayong taon na ito, hindi mo na narinig si Emil Marañon. Bakit? Kasi wala nga kwenta yung kaso nila, dinismiss na sila ng Korte Suprema, nag-forum shopping pa sila ha. Pending sa COMELEC yun since 2019.
Pero Ronald, yung nomination ay kinansela ng COMELEC noong 2019 as the party list representative dahil nga ikaw ay overage. Doon nga po sa requirement ng batas na 25 to 30 kapag youth ang classification. So kayo po ay natanggal bilang nominee. So paano niyo po masasabi na wala pong basihan ito?
Hindi, ito yan. Hindi kasi in-explain yan nung kalabang ko dati ni Rowena Guanzon. Nung nag-apply ang Duterte Youth Party List noong 2018 ng accreditation, ang nasa bylaws talaga ng Duterte Youth Party List, simula noon hanggang ngayon, di naman namin binago yung bylaws, Duterte Youth and Professionals yan. Kaya nung inapprove yan ng COMELEC and Bank, pati ni Rowena Guanzon, noong January 2019, ang nominees ng Duterte Youth Party List na inapprove nila, 27, yung wife ko, 40, 41, 43, and 46. Apat na 40 years old na dating police at sundalo. Kasi alam nyo naman yun, advocacy namin, government troops. Inapprove yan ni Rowena Guanzon at ng COMELEC and Bank yung Duterte Youth Party List na yan ang nominees. Approve rin nila. Ang nangyari dyan, nag-away kami ni Rowena Guanzon, tapos nag-substitute ako within the given substitution period, which is until election day. So nagpalit kami nung unang set of nominees. Ako pumasok 33 years old. Tapos, nung nanalo yung Duterte Youth Party List, bigla na lang sinabi ni Rowena Guanzon na, Mr. Cardema, you're overage. Tapos ang sabi sa akin ng mga kasamahan kong congressman-elect, pare, huwag ka magpapa-interview na na aawayin mo yan si Guanzon kasi aawayin ka rin yan. Ang pagkakamali ko, hindi agad ako nagsalita noon. For 2 months, tahimik lang ako. Hindi sinasabi ni Rowena Guanzon sa inyo na inaprubahan niya yung 4 na 40 years old na yun. Kasi it will, madidispute pati yung mismong punto niya na youth party list lang ang Duterte Youth. So from simula noon, yan na nga. Nung nasuhan ako ni Emil Marañon at si Guanzon ang judge, di ba? Sila ang commissioner judge. Dinisqualify ako sa division. Ang pwede kong gawin sana noon, i-raise ko yan sa NBank hanggang Supreme Court. Kaya lang, ang ginawa ko, hindi ko na itinuloy yun, ibinalik ko na lang si 27 years old na si Mrs. Cardema. Kapag ang sinasabi nila, yung rhetoric nila na, natanggal nga yan eh. Hindi ko na ni-raise kasi nga kaaway ko yung buong COMELEC eh. So, ibinalik ko si Congresswoman Cardema na 27 years old at simula nun, tapos na ang usapan.
Ito po si Miss Duchelle Cardema, tama po ba?
Yes,
Oo. Okay. Ibig sabihin po, lahat po ba ng nominees nyo ngayon ay under 30 na? Si
Yes,
Drixie, si Berlin, at si Rod Godfrey.
Yes, although pwede namin ilaban yan kasi nasa bylaws namin na hindi naman youth lang. Simula nun, hindi na namin, youth lang nilalagay namin para lang wala na kami issue nito ni COMELEC.
Kay Ronald, meron din kasing kumakalat na si Drixie May Suarez Cardema ay hindi siya yung, kumbaga, siya yung kapatid ng misis mo. So bakit daw Cardema ang last name niya? Can we get some clarity on that?
Yes, sister ko yan. Sinong gumagawa ng issue na yun?
Nakita ko lang online ito. So mukhang may mga lumalabas na gano'n, no? But balikan po natin yung yung edad po ninyo. This was deemed as material misrepresentation by the COMELEC. Is that the basis of what they're bringing up now to hold the proclamation of the Duterte Youth?
I-correct ko kayo dyan. Yan yung ni-raise nila Emil Marañon through dun sa division ni Guanzon dati na material misrepresentation yon. So sinagot ko yan, sabi ko, how can it be material representation if the nominees that I substituted for were older than me, di ba? Paano ko nalaman na bawal ako kung ang in-approve nyo mas matanda sa akin ng todo? So nung ni-raise yan sa NBank level, yung material misrepresentation, dinismiss yan ng NBank. Ibig sabihin, walang kasong material misrepresentation. Yung huling hearing nung kaso ni Emil Marañon was December 2019. Nung February 2020, dinismiss ng COMELEC yung kaso na yan. Kaya hindi na siya inabutan nung nung kaso ni Emil Marañon. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa COMELEC, that was really that serious. Yung 2019 issues na yan, bakit hindi nyo agad dinesisyonan na matapos na yan o i-dismiss o kasuhan kami? Kasi it is only grave abuse of discretion now. Na discretion nyo na lang kung kailan nyo babanggitin yung kaso at kung kailan nyo gagamitin laban sa amin. It's not our fault na alam nyo, binanggit lang uli nila yan sa amin ngayong nag-number 1 sa survey ang Duterte Youth Party List noong March. After mag-number 1, binanggit nila yan at yan, hinaharas kami dyan sa kaso na yan. Pero sabihin namin sa inyo, i-raise namin sa Supreme Court mamaya yan, yung decision nyo kahapon na hindi kami ipasama. Dahil anong mangyari dyan? Ang sabi nila, tatapusin muna nila yung kaso. Kalahating dekada na nga hindi tapos, dapat na-dismiss na yan.
Ay, Ronald, before we go, tell us a little bit more about Duterte Youth. Ano bang ginagawa ng party list na ito? And sabi mo nga, kung hindi lang siya youth dapat, no, pati professionals kasama. So, ano ba ang advokasya ng Duterte Youth?
Yes, ang Duterte Youth Party List, alam nyo, ang kaisa-isang party list at miyembro ng Kongreso na nagpo-propose ibalik yung death penalty for plunder, corruption, heinous crimes, and terrorists. Wala namang ibang nagko-co-author sa amin, hindi ko maintindihan kung bakit. Napakaganda naman ng advokasya na yon na ibalik yung death penalty para sa heinous criminals, sa mga terorista at sa mga kurakot sa gobyerno. So yan ang isang advokasya ng Duterte Youth Party List. Pangalawa, syempre ang isang advokasya namin, yung ating mga kabataan Pilipino, ang mga anak ninyo at apo ninyo, pine-prevent namin yan na mag-join sa NPA. Bakit? Hindi sila magiging pag-asa ng bayan kung sila ay magre-rebelde laban sa ating bayan at laban sa gobyerno. At maliban dyan, yan ang ating mga advokasya. Tulungan rin ang ating mga pulis at sundalo. Bakit? Napakalaki na sakripisyo ng ating mga tropa ng gobyerno para protektahan tayo lahat. Alam niyo, masabi ko sa inyo, ngayong huling eleksyon na ito, pag tiningnan mo yung local absentee voting ng mga pulis at sundalo, ang pinakamalaking boto na ibinigay ng ating mga tropa ng gobyerno sa Duterte Youth Party List. Pag tiningnan mo yung mga OFW votes galing sa iba't ibang bansa, kahit Amerika pa yan, Hong Kong, Middle East, lahat ang majority vote ay Duterte Youth Party List. At maliban dyan, lampas 2 milyong Pilipino dito sa ating bansa ang bumoto para kami ay maproklama kahapon at maging kinatawan sa Kongreso. Bakit po hindi nyo kami hinayaang maproklama kahapon? At discretion nyo na lang kung kailan kami maproklama.
Ronald, you're also facing a red tagging complaint, disqualification complaint. Have you responded to that?
Yes, alam nyo, baka hindi ho alam ng taong bayan, ako po, bago naging Duterte Youth Party List, ay miyembro ng Kabataan Party List sa UP Los Baños at naging miyembro ng Bayan Muna. 3 sa aking batchmate sa UP Los Baños, batchmate ko sa Kabataan Party List, patay na bilang NPA. Kaya nga po, sa buong NTFL CAC ng ating gobyerno, pag nakikipagdebate ako, Yusek Ronald Cardema, hindi ako nakakasuhan ng libel o red tagging. Bakit? Binabanggit ko mismo yung pangalan ng napapatay na miyembro ng Kabataan Party List na NPA. Hindi ako yung sasabihin ko, lahat yan NPA. O yun ang red tagging. Pangalawa, etong Akbayan, yung nauna sa amin, number 1 sila, ang dami nagsasabi, yung Akbayan, NPA rin yan. Ako mismo nagtatanggol kahit hindi ko kaibigan yung mga yan. Sabi ko, hindi NPA yan. Hindi nag-NPA yung mga miyembro niyan. So, para kasuhan mo ako ng red tagging, kaya kong i-prove na hindi ako red tagger. Miyembro niyo ako dati. Binabanggit ko lang mismo yung pangalan ng miyembro natin sa Kabataan Party List na napapatay bilang NPA. That is not red tagging. That is telling the truth.
Okay, aantayin natin ang inyong paghahain sa Korte Suprema at syempre ang resolusyon. Sana ito ay maresolba bago ang pagbubukas ng Kongreso. Tatlong seats in Congress ang nakataya dito sa inyong issue. No? But maraming salamat sa pagpapaliwanag ngayong umaga. We have Duterte Youth Chairman Ronald Cardema joining us on Morning Matters today.
Thank you po, ma'am. God bless po.
And before we go, Signal has officially launched Signal Super, the first ever streaming aggregator app in the Philippines. The platform brings together content from providers like HBO, Warner Brothers, Signal Play, and Pilipinas Live into one subscription and interface. Signal Super aims to make entertainment more accessible to Filipinos with just one login on mobile devices. Chief Revenue Officer Gerard Milan says this launch marks Signal's biggest step yet in multimedia innovation. The app is now available on Google Play and the App Store with promo prices starting at 249 pesos until May 31. And that wraps up today's episode of Morning Matters. We hope we've given you the right start to your morning. Let's go ahead and make the day matter. My name is Gretchen Ho. We are One News, all sides, all the time.